Have you ever wondered what life is like for the less fortunate in India? India, a country of vibrant cultures, rich history, and bustling cities. A land where modernity and tradition blend seamlessly. Yet beneath the glitz and glamour of its thriving metropolises, there lies another India. An India that many of us fail to see. In the rural heartlands, away from the skyscrapers and the digital hubbub, life tells a different tale. These are the lands where the stark realities of poverty cast long shadows. Here, the disparity between the haves and the have-nots is not just evident, but painfully stark. While cities are abuzz with the latest technological advancements, the rural poor grapple with the basics. Clean water, nutritious food, decent shelter, and access to healthcare are not givens. They are luxuries. And education? For many, it remains a distant dream, a luxury that is far too costly to afford. The struggle doesn't end there. The rural poor are often caught in a vicious cycle of poverty. Inadequate access to resources and opportunities keeps them tethered to a life of hardship and deprivation. It's a struggle that starts at dawn and doesn't end until long after dusk. A struggle to meet the most basic of human needs, to survive. This is the unseen India, the India that doesn't make it to the tourist brochures or the Instagram feeds. The India where life isn't about thriving, it's about surviving. But it's not all doom and gloom. Amidst the hardships, there is resilience. There is a spirit of survival, a determination to overcome, to fight against the odds. The people of rural India are not just victims of poverty, they are survivors. So consider this. While we enjoy our daily comforts, millions in India are struggling to survive. To truly grasp the scale of poverty in India, let's dive into some startling facts and figures. According to the World Bank, nearly 1 in 5 Indians is poor. That's a staggering 20% of the population struggling to survive on less than $2 a day. But poverty isn't just about income. It's also about access to basic necessities like clean water and sanitation. Reports from UNICEF reveal that more than half of India's population doesn't have access to basic sanitation. That's over 600 million people who are at risk of disease because they lack clean toilets and running water. And it's not just sanitation that's a concern. Access to clean drinking water is also a major problem. Nearly 1/3 of rural households in India still don't have access to a reliable source of clean water. Now let's talk about education. According to the Indian government, the literacy rate in the country is about 74%. That means 1 in every 4 Indians cannot read or write. And the situation is worse for women, with a literacy rate that's almost 10% lower than that of men. Malnutrition is another heartbreaking reality in India. The World Bank estimates that nearly 40% of children under the age of 5 are stunted due to chronic malnutrition. That's close to 40 million children whose growth and development are being hampered by a lack of nutrition. And let's not forget about income inequality. The richest 10% of Indians control more than 77% of the country's wealth. This stark disparity between the rich and the poor is a stark reminder of the economic imbalance that exists in the country. These numbers paint a grim picture, don't they? But it's not all doom and gloom. Despite the challenges, India has made significant strides in poverty alleviation. Unfolding the layers of this journey, we see a myriad of poverty alleviation programs and initiatives led by both the Indian government and non-governmental organizations. These efforts have been instrumental in mitigating the harsh realities of poverty. Among the early programs, the Integrated Rural Development Program stands out. Initiated in 1978, it aimed at providing assets and self-employment opportunities to the rural poor. On the other side, the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, enacted in 2005, guarantees 100 days of wage employment in a year to every household whose adult members volunteer for unskilled manual work. This act provides a safety net for millions, giving them a fighting chance against poverty. The Midday Meal Scheme, launched nationwide in 2001, provides free lunches on working days for children in primary and upper primary classes in government, government-aided local body education guarantee scheme, and alternate innovative education centers. This initiative not only encourages education, but also addresses malnutrition issues among children from low-income families. Non-governmental organizations or NGOs have been equally proactive. Organizations like the Pratham Education Foundation focused on high-quality, low-cost education for underprivileged children, while the Akshaya Patra Foundation works towards eliminating classroom hunger. The government's financial inclusion program, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, launched in 2014, has made significant strides in bringing the unbanked into the formal banking system. This move has enabled direct benefit transfers, thus reducing leakages and ensuring that benefits reach the intended beneficiaries. These concerted efforts have resulted in a substantial reduction in poverty rates over the past few decades. From a staggering 54.9% in 1973 to 21.9% in 2011, the progress has been noteworthy. Progress has been made, but there's still a long way to go. The fight against poverty is far from over, and the journey ahead is still long and fraught with challenges. The collective will and concerted action of all stakeholders are essential to ensure that no Indian is left behind in this battle against poverty. You might be wondering, what can I do to help? The answer to that question is simple yet powerful. Every individual has the potential to make a substantial impact. Let's delve into how you, as an individual, can contribute to poverty alleviation. One of the most direct ways to help is by giving. Donations, whether large or small, make a significant difference. And not just monetary donations, even giving your time, skills, or resources can have a profound effect. For instance, consider the story of Ravi, a software engineer who dedicated his weekends to teaching computer skills to underprivileged children in his community. His efforts not only empowered these children with a valuable skill set, but also opened up new opportunities for their future. In addition to giving, volunteering is another powerful way to combat poverty. By offering your time and energy, you can contribute to projects that directly benefit those in need. Take the example of Priya, a college student who spent her summer vacation volunteering at a rural health clinic. Her work not only provided essential health services to the community, but also raised awareness about important health issues. But your influence doesn't stop at donations and volunteering. Advocacy is another crucial aspect of poverty alleviation. By using your voice, you can effect policy changes that have far-reaching impacts. Remember Akash, a social worker who campaigned tirelessly for better housing policies for the urban poor. His advocacy led to significant policy changes that improved the living conditions for thousands of families. These stories are only a glimpse of the power of individual action. Each one of us has unique talents, resources, and opportunities that can be harnessed to combat poverty. It's about finding what resonates with you and taking that step forward. Remember, every action counts. Together, we can make a difference. Now that you understand the scale of poverty in India, it's time to act. There is a profound need for change, and that change begins with each one of us. We are not powerless in the face of this crisis. There are several ways in which we can contribute to the alleviation of poverty and make a real difference. Firstly, consider making a donation. There are numerous reputable organizations working tirelessly to combat poverty in India, and they are in constant need of financial support. Your donation, no matter how small, can help provide essential services such as food, clean water, healthcare, and education for those in desperate need. Secondly, consider volunteering. Many organizations need help on the ground, and your time and skills could be invaluable in their efforts. Whether it's teaching English in a rural school, helping to build homes, or simply lending a listening ear to those who need it, your time can make a significant impact. Thirdly, advocacy is a powerful tool in the fight against poverty. Use your voice to bring attention to this urgent issue. Share information about poverty in India on your social media platforms, talk about it with your friends and family, and urge your local and national leaders to prioritize poverty eradication policies. Lastly, remember that every action counts. Whether it's choosing to buy products that support fair trade, sponsoring a child's education, or simply being more conscious about waste, your individual actions can contribute to a larger collective impact. The crisis of poverty in India is overwhelming, but it is not insurmountable. It requires collective effort, compassion, and unwavering commitment, and it begins with you. Remember, every step taken towards alleviating poverty is a step towards a more equitable and just world. It's a step towards a future where every child goes to bed with a full stomach, every family has a roof over their heads, and every individual has the opportunity to live a life of dignity and fulfillment. Join the fight against poverty. Your contribution can change lives.